Hello and welcome back to my channel. Have you ever wondered if you're watering your plants the right way, or maybe you have noticed yellowing leaves or drooping stems? Don't worry, you're in the right place. Today I'll share houseplants watering tips and 5 mistakes to avoid. I'll also explain how, when and how much to water your plants so they can stay happy and thriving. Let's get started. One of the most common mistakes is treating all plants the same. The truth is, each plant is unique and has its own specific water requirements. Cacti, for example, thrive with less water, while calatheas prefer more moisture. To avoid this kind of mistake, you should start by learning your plant's name and variety so you can understand its general watering needs. Once you have addressed this, it's also important to consider the pot size, the material of the pot, and the type of soil where the plant is growing. For example, larger pots retain water for longer periods than smaller ones, while terracotta pots dry out much faster compared to plastic ones. Soil type is equally important. Fast-draining soil will require more frequent watering, while soil that retains moisture will need less. By taking all these factors into account, you can avoid the common mistakes of overwatering or underwatering, both of which are crucial for helping any plant thrive. Another big mistake that plant parents often make is watering on a schedule. Plants don't always need water at the same time every week or month, and following a strict schedule can lead to improper watering and issues with your plant. Yellow or brown leaves are often the first indicators of watering problems. To avoid this, I recommend always checking the soil before watering. The easiest way is to stick your finger about 2 inches deep into the soil. And if it feels dry, it's time to water. If it's still damp, wait a few more days. You can also use a moisture meter. Insert it into the soil near the roots and it will let you know if the soil is dry, moist or wet. Don't worry, over time you will learn your plant's watering rhythm and you won't need to check as often. Another clear sign that your plant needs water is drooping leaves or wilting. If your plant looks sad, with its leaves drooping down, it's a signal to act quickly. Give it water to help it bounce back. If it stays in this state for too long, the plant may suffer damage and in some cases you might even risk losing it. It may sound surprising, but the way you water your houseplants matters a lot. Relying on just one watering method is another common mistake. Different methods have different benefits and drawbacks, so mixing them can make a big difference. Let me explain the main methods, their advantages and their downsides so you can find the perfect combination for you and your houseplants. Top watering is one of the most common methods we all use regularly. Pour water onto the soil and let it soak in. When top watering, it's very important to remember to empty any water left in the saucer after about 15 minutes to prevent root rot. However, the downside of this method is that it often wets only part of the soil. This means you may need to water more frequently and some roots may not get enough water. Over time, this can lead to parts of the plant drying out. To avoid this issue, I recommend practicing soaking or showering your houseplants alongside top watering. And here is why. Soaking is perfect for evenly hydrating all the roots. Place the pot in a container filled with water, let it sit for 15 to 13 minutes and then let it drain completely. This method ensures that all the roots get water, making it a great option for deep hydration. I suggest soaking your plants about once a month. It's also ideal before going on a trip, because the soil stays moist longer compared to top watering. After soaking, you may even need to skip a regular watering to avoid overdone it. As I always say, checking the soil is crucial before your next watering. Another similar method is showering your houseplants. Showering mimics a tropical rainstorm. It not only hydrates the roots, but also cleans dust off the leaves and increases humidity. This method works best when practiced once a month in summer or once every 2 to 3 months in winter. The results are similar to soaking, so always check the soil before your next watering. And here is an extra tip. After showering, I like to fertilize my houseplants. When the roots are already wet, the fertilizer absorbs evenly without causing damage. Adding fertilizer to dry roots can risk root burn, so this is a safer approach. Another method to consider is bottom watering. This encourages strong root growth and works well for certain types of plants. To bottom water, set the pot in a tray with water for about 30 minutes and let the plant absorb what it needs. This method is especially helpful for plants prone to overwatering. However, it's not ideal for all plants, so be mindful of your plant-specific needs. By combining these methods, top watering, soaking, showering, and bottom watering, you will ensure your plants get the best care possible. One of the easiest and most common mistakes is forgetting to empty the saucer after watering. When plants sit in water for too long, their roots can breathe properly and may start to suffocate. Over time, this leads to root rot, which is one of the most serious problems for houseplants and can quickly spread through the root system. The fix is simple. Always drain any excess water from the saucer or tray about 15 to 20 minutes after watering. This gives the soil enough time to absorb what it needs while preventing the roots from sitting in stagnant water. If you're using soaking or bottom watering methods, it's just as important to let the pot drain thoroughly before putting it back in its usual spot. Make sure there's no water pooling at the bottom, as even a little standing water can cause issues over time. Here is a tip. If you're someone who forgets to check, set a timer after watering to remind yourself to come back and empty the saucer. Many people forget that plants' watering needs change with the seasons. In winter, most houseplants slow down their growth and the soil stays moist for longer periods. On the other hand, in summer, plants grow faster and lose moisture more quickly, meaning they may need more frequent watering. To avoid this mistake, adjust your watering routine based on the seasons. In winter, check the soil more frequently and water less often to prevent overwatering. In summer, pay closer attention to plants that dry out quickly and may need an extra hydration. It's also important to consider room temperature and humidity. Indoor heating during winter can dry out the soil faster than expected, even if the plant itself is growing slower. Similarly, air conditioning in summer might reduce humidity, so plants may need more attention. Water quality matters more than you might think. While tap water works fine for many houseplants, it's important to let it sit for at least 24 hours before using it. This allows chlorine to evaporate and brings the water to room temperature, which is gentle for plants' roots. For more sensitive plants like calatheas, philodendrons and alocasias, tap water can sometimes cause issues due to chlorine, fluoride or other minerals. These plants do best with rainwater or distilled water, as they mimic the natural conditions these plants are used to. By following these tips and avoiding the mistakes, you will keep your houseplants happy, healthy and thriving. I would love to know what watering methods do you practice, so let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more plant care tips. Thanks for watching and happy growing!